All right, children. Good morning, class 7A. We are doing the last lesson in geography, that is human environment, transport, and communication. We have already discussed the roadways and the railways, means of transportation, and now is the time to discuss the next, that is the waterways. Now, when people or things have to be transported from one continent to another, it is really very difficult to go by road or to make use of a railway, right? So that's when waterways, the next mode of transportation, came into existence. Actually, this water transportation is the oldest form of transportation. Early men also made use of logs of wood to transport themselves from one place to another. Let us find out in detail about the waterways. Kindly put today's date on this topic, waterways. It is 13th of January. Yes, Parth, please begin reading.
Waterways. Did you ever imagine how man spread this habitation throughout the world? How did the New World, America and Australia come into existence? Right from prehistoric time, man has been crossing water bodies. The oldest canoe, a dugout pine log found in Netherlands, is thought to be 8,000 years old. In history, we must have learned how people from Europe went and colonized Americas and Australia on board huge ships that took them across oceans and seas.
Okay, please continue.
Though slow water transport is the cheapest mode of transport, bulky materials in huge quantities can be transported through water bodies. They are the cheapest because very little cost is involved in building the transport networks. They are naturally as rivers, lakes, seas, and oceans, the natural highways for transportation. Waterways are generally categorized into inland waterways, ocean and sea routes.
Okay, stop. So, children, here we are talking about the most important as well as the most widely used transportation system, which is water transport. When people or cargo means goods. When we do import and export between two continents or between two countries, people make use of ships to transfer goods from one country to another country. Do you know how your country, India, was discovered or how America was discovered? The discoverer went on a water journey. They went on a voyage and ultimately landed on a piece of land that was a continent. And this is how Australia, America, and even India was discovered. When the voyager, for example, Vasco da Gama, who discovered India, and Columbus, who discovered America, they went on a water journey to find out another piece of land. So when they landed up across the oceans, when they landed up on a dry land, they discovered these particular continents. Also, the early men, they made use of logs of wood in order to sail through the water bodies. Asha Philip, your mic is turning on again and again. Kindly keep yourselves on mute, otherwise I will have to remove you.
Ma'am, sorry to
Anyway,
interrupt, but I have read this paragraph.
I'm sorry I could not get what you are saying.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt, but ma'am, I have read the waterways paragraph on the last class.
You've read it? Okay,
Yes.
never mind. So we have to begin with the two kinds of waterways, that is inland waterways and oceans and sea routes. So I was telling you that early humans started to discover places through traveling by water. And not only that, even today, cargo and also human beings, they carry themselves and their goods from one continent to another continent, especially through water. Now, this water transportation could be into two types. That is, inland waterways means transporting through water within the same country. And sea and ocean routes, it is transporting of goods and people from one country to another country or from one continent to another continent. All right. So, Parth, please continue from inland waterways.
Inland waterways. Inland waterways are the navigable rivers, lakes, and canals through which passengers and goods can be transported on boats and steamers. They are common in most countries of the world.
Okay, let us check out some important inland waterways across the world. As I told you, inland waterways are those where we do not go from one country to another country. For example, if you have studied that case study, if you remember the case study we did for Kerala, remember there were backwaters.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
both, especially in Goa or Kerala, where there is a much interrelated or interconnected network of rivers and streams, we make use of these backwaters, and we easily transport ourselves, like we have buses and we have metro rails to go from one place to another in a city or the nearby area. In the similar way, the backwaters also help us in traveling within the same country or within the same state. Let us check out some important inland waterways for India, for other countries as well. Yes, continue reading.
Important inland waterways. First, the Haldia-Allahabad stretch of the Ganga and the Sadia-Dhubri stretch of the Brahmaputra are the two significant inland waterways provided by the Ganga-Brahmaputra river system. They carry bulky agricultural cargo and passengers.
Okay. First one is for India, that is the Ganga Satluj and the Ganga Brahmaputra river system. Let me tell you, those who are using an old book, last year's book, the first few lines will not be there. In my book also, the first 2-3 lines where the Ganga Satluj transportation system is mentioned is not there in the old book. However, the last 4 lines of this paragraph are the same. Another one is the Ganga Brahmaputra river system. Next.
Located in USA and Canada, the Great Lakes, linked to the sea via the St. Lawrence Waterway, is the busiest and the largest inland waterway in the world. Other important
Okay, please
inland
underline this. Please underline the St. Lawrence Waterway is the busiest and largest inland waterway in the world. It is the busiest and the largest inland waterway, means within the same city. USA and Canada. Both these places are in America, South America, right? Okay, next one. The other important inland waterways include.
The other important inland waterways are the Mississippi and the Missouri rivers of southern USA.
Okay, Mississippi and Missouri rivers of the USA are interconnected, through which people go from one part of USA to another part of USA. Flip the page to page number 58 to find out the 4, 5, 6 points.
Rivers
Yes.
Seine and Loire in France, River Rhine in Germany, the Nile in Africa, especially in Egypt, the Yangtze Kiang in China, Irrawaddy in Myanmar, and Mekong in Indochina.
Indochina. So these are some of the inland waterways which are important across the world. Now let us check out some important oceans and sea routes. Now children, this ocean and sea route section is also very important, so that you know how two countries or two continents develop business relations with each other. When they manufacture goods, it is not possible that all those heavy bulky goods are transported through air. Of course, there is no road route, there is no rail route. So in order to have business relations with other continents or other cities, we must understand the ocean and sea routes between two countries. Go ahead with the ocean and sea routes. Yes, Parth.
Ocean and
Please
sea
check
routes.
that your
Much
mics
of the
are
trade
mute.
in the ancient and medieval period Much of the trade in the ancient and medieval period was carried on through oceans and seas. Columbus' discovery of America, in fact, happened when he was trying a new sea route from Europe to Asia.
Inspired.
In spite of its slow speed, even today, ocean transport is of vital importance in the world's economy. About 90% of the freight goods that travel around the globe are carried by ships. They form the natural water highways of the world. Free flow of heavy and bulky materials from one part of the world to another is possible because of ocean transport. There are no major obstacles along ocean routes excepting the problem of icebergs in the polar regions and climatic hazards of fogs and storms.
International trade.
International trade throughout the world is carried on mainly through the ocean roads. Ports are located along the routes which enable trade between different countries.
Stop. So here they mention that the ocean and sea routes are basically very important because they carry cargo from one country to another country. And you will be surprised to know that when Columbus discovered America, he was actually moving towards Asia. He was on a journey to find your country, India, but he landed up in moving to the west side and he accidentally discovered America, the continent. Now, ocean routes are cheaper and comparatively free of any obstacles. There is no traffic jam on the oceans and sea routes, and the good and nicely developed seaport add to the better transport system. The only problem is sometimes there are storms in the ocean and sometimes thick and dense fog is there, because of which maybe the two ships bang into each other sometimes and cause a lot of trouble. Also, there can be a problem of iceberg, especially in the Arctic region and the Pacific and Atlantic oceans. The south, near the South Pole, a huge part of Atlantic Ocean is also situated. So you must be knowing the largest ship which was ever made, that was Titanic. It also sank because it banged into an iceberg. So the only problem that we have is fog, storm, and iceberg. Other apart from these natural calamities, there can be no other problem which can hamper the navigation of these oceans and sea routes. Now there are some important sea routes across the world. Please mark this into your book that we have discussed till there. We will discuss the important sea routes and ports on the next turn. However, let us mark some question answers now. Page number 63, exercise E. I am hoping that you must have completed exercise D into your copy. I repeat, please start completing your work as soon as it is given and do start preparing for final exams. Very soon as these last few pages end up of this chapter, you will be getting the revision tests for final exam. So please start learning as many chapters as you've done. Page number 63, exercise E, question number 1. Name any four means of transport. Very simple to know. You can turn to the first page of the chapter, page number 55. Page number 55 out here. Roads, railways, waterways, and airways are the different means of transportation in the world. Close the paragraph. This is answer number E1. Question number next. E2. Mention any two merits of railways. What factors lead, sorry, to the concentration of railway network? Page number 56 of the new book. If you are using an old book, it is page number 152. If you are using a new book, it is page number 56. For answer number E2, check out the bottom left paragraph, railways. Fourth line, railways form, it is written form, FORM, form the fastest and the cheapest linkage on land. They are the best means for carrying bulky goods and a large number of people for long distances. Time, the figure is they are also cheap and efficient. Close the bracket. This is first part of E2. First part of E2. For the second part of E2, come to the paragraph below it. Come to the paragraph below where you have just marked flat terrain on the same page, right side. Flat terrain and huge population density accentuated with high level of agriculture and industrial development have led to high concentration of railway network in the plains. That's it. This is answer number E2, second part. Now for the next answer. Question number E3. What is mass communication? Page number 61. However, you have not discussed this by far, but it is easy to understand. Right hand side, under the heading mass communication, third paragraph. Sorry, third line. I'm sorry. Third line. Mass communication includes electronic media like radio, TV, films, and internet. The print media consists of newspaper, magazine, periodicals, and books. As these means communicate to a large number of people at the same time, they are termed as mass communication. They provide us information, educate us, as well as entertain us. They help in forming public opinion. Close the bracket at public opinion. This is E3. Question number E4. Why railways are better than trucks for carrying goods? Now this answer is same as E2. Why are railways better than trucks for carrying goods to longer distances? I'll tell you the answer once again. Page number 56, E2, where you have written the first part. You've marked the first part, bottom left corner. Railways form the fastest and the cheapest linkage on land. They are the best means for carrying bulky goods and a large number of people over long distances in less time. They are also cheap and efficient. You will repeat this answer, only this part, for answer number E4 as well. Okay, answer number E4 is the first part of E2. Next, question number E5. Why is water transport cheaper than land transport? Page number 57. Page number 57, under the heading water waves. Waterways, second paragraph, fourth line.